Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Texans are trading for Christian Kirk, giving up a 7th-round pick in 2026 in order to land the wide receiver. You know, the 7th-round pick belongs to the Los Angeles Rams, and this was a trade that happened last summer. The Texans traded for a wide receiver from the Rams, Ben Skowronek, and they got Ben Skowronek in a 2026 7th-round pick, and in return, the Rams got a 6th-round pick, and so now the Texans are sending that 7th-round pick that they got from the Rams to the Jags in a rare in-division trade. I think if you're the Jaguars, it's not stupid that you traded Christian Kirk to division rival. Probably a good chance. You know, so basically a day or two ago, Jags released Christian Kirk. Now you can release a player and then end up trading them. Sometimes there'll be a team that finds out, they want to grab him, and they work out a trade before the release is official. And so that happened here. The Texans give them a 2026 7th-round pick. Good chance maybe Kirk ended up signing with the Texans anyways, and so, good chance they would have to face him anyways. The Texans clearly had interest in him, and possibly he would have ended up signing with them. So they would have got nothing for him. They get a 7th-round pick now for him. So I guess that's solid. I swear on everything, right before this trade was announced, was ready to get on here to talk about the Texans potentially signing Christian Kirk, because the last we had heard was he was a free agent. He had been released by this by this Jacksonville Jaguars team, but no, a trade to Houston. I was literally getting ready to come on here and talk about a potential signing with Christian Kirk, but the Texans trade for him, and this is the same thing that happened with Joe Mixon, if I'm correct. Joe Mixon was being released by the Bengals, and then the Texans swooped in and ended up trading for him. But I like this addition. But, look, he's a great wide receiver. Last season had 400 receiving yards in 8 games, missed half the season. You want to look at the year before that, had 800 receiving yards in 2023 with Jacksonville, playing 12 games. 2022, he had 1,100 receiving yards in 17 games. He's been pretty healthy in the playoffs. I think that's the one thing you want for C.J. Stroud. I mean, with C.J. Stroud, he's not had wide receivers healthy in the playoffs. Jacksonville's 2 playoff games in 2022, he was healthy and played pretty well. His one playoff game that he played with Arizona, he was healthy. So I guess that's what you want next to Nico Collins. But is this going to be the wide receiver 2 for the Houston Texans? I don't like it if he's the wide receiver 2. We'll see. I mean, look, I love Christian Kirk as a player. I think he's a really good player, but I know he has injury problems, and I'd like to see the Texans add to this wide receiver room, and would love this trade even more if there's another addition to this Houston Texans wide receiver room and Christian Kirk is the wide receiver 3 in this offense. I just don't. I think it's hard to rely on Christian Kirk as the wide receiver 2 with his injuries in the past. I would love to see the Houston Texans potentially go out there and try to re-sign Stephon Diggs and make him the wide receiver 2, and then you got Nico, Diggs, and Christian Kirk. Keep in mind, Christian Kirk is familiar with the Texas area. Went to school at College Station with A&M, and not only that, but he's played this team quite a bit the last couple seasons, last 3 seasons, being with the Jags, Texans division rival. I'm excited to see this. I think he's a good fit with C.J. Stroud. The injuries are just concerning, and that's something that C.J. Stroud has had with wide receivers in his 2 seasons in the league, is injuries. With Diggs and Dell, and you don't want to go back to the Baltimore Ravens divisional playoff loss. He didn't have Noah Brown, one of his top wide receivers in that game. Even Nico's had some injury problems in the last couple years. Nico had an IR stint this year. So injuries have been a big concern at the wide receiver position for the Houston Texans this year. And Christian Kirk, I don't know if that really solves the injury issues the Texans have at wide receiver, but I still love this addition if he's going to be fully healthy on the field. Let me know your thoughts on the trade for the Texans in the comment section, and peace out.